On today's show, we're going to talk about the taste of Christmas. We're going to learn about wreaths across America, and we all want to know how to make homemade Lefse. We're going to introduce you to the new Director of Public Works for the city of Waupaca, and of course, meet our Pet of the Month. This is Joni Kern, and this is What's Happening in Waupaca. Bill Pempo here. Welcome, Bill. It's always good to see you. You are on this time of year because we have Taste of Christmas coming up the first week of December, the first Saturday on the 5th.
Correct.
So we always like to talk about that because it is a great family get-together with lots of things to do. And you benefit lots of local charities. So we'll get to that in just a moment. Okay. So it's an all-day affair, right?
Mm-hmm, yep.
And you have, what kind of stuff do you have going on there?
Well, the whole event kicks off, like you said, at 10 o'clock. And we've got literally something for every age. The Yuletide Workshop is the favorite of the kids. We've got Santa, visits with Santa, free photos with him. We've got gingerbread house decorating, ornament making in that particular workshop. The Children's Story Corner is in the lower level of that building, hosted by the library here. And then you move across the campus and you've got a treat shop, you've got a Christmas karaoke tent, you've got a live nativity and petting zoo, you've got 20 different shops for Christmas gifts, and you've got Tinseltown Theater showing Christmas movies all day long. And we have 2 buildings designated for free rummage sale. And that starts at 9:30 and goes all day long, and everything's free.
And you have crafters there, because I bought a wonderful, wonderful sign that hangs in my house from that particular building. Now, where is this held? It's at
Spencer Lake Christian Center on County E, so 5 miles south in town. If you just look for the snowflake emblem that we have, it's a snowflake with the bite out of it. That's the Taste of Christmas symbol, and you just follow those into camp.
And you can't miss it anyway, because you go into Spencer Lake and you have to slow down for it. Yep. Now, you have horse wagon rides.
Yes.
So people that like wagon rides with horses.
And the bells on them. So we'll have the jingle bells on the horses, and that's free as well. Pretty much the whole event is free other than purchasing lunch. The children actually eat free with a donation of a canned good item or a $1 donation, which then goes back to some of the charities that we're benefiting for the day.
And you have restaurants coming. You have
Yes.
Little Fat Gretchen's coming, which is one of my favorite restaurants,
Right.
and she's been on the show. You also have Billy Bob's.
Hillbilly Bob's, yes. He's coming. They are out of New London, and he's going to do fried cheese curds for us. He dips them, you know, not pre-made. He's going to do them live there. And then he's also going to do Cuban sandwiches. And then he's got a special thing that he does where he dips, he wraps dough around a skewer, stuffed with cheese and wrapped in bacon, and that gets deep fried.
Yeah, you were
So
telling me
it's
that,
gonna be
and I started drooling just
So
thinking
the smell
of it.
should be great on the campus with that.
So there's the wide variety of
Yes.
food, so we can go.
Yeah, we've
for
got about
lunch
5 different
and-
restaurants coming. Johnny
Yeah.
Salsa's will be there. You mentioned Little Fat Gretchen's will be there, and Jamaican Kitchens will also be there again, doing their pulled pork.
And there's music all day, and there's a candlelight ceremony to close it up.
Right, at 4:30 we circle up in the main auditorium, and Shepherd's Quarter is going to host some Christmas medleys for us at that time. We'll do a candlelight reading of the Christmas story, and then at 5 o'clock we head across the street and send off 150 sky lanterns.
How fun. So remember, this is all on Saturday, December 5th, and it starts at 10 o'clock at Spencer Lake Christian Camp just south of town. Thank you, Bill. Always a pleasure seeing you, and we'll look forward to seeing you at A Taste of Christmas.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
The Revival in downtown Waupaca prides themselves in providing above and beyond customer service. From small to tall, women of any age can consider the Revival your professional personal stylist, helping you find the right outfit for any occasion, weddings, senior pictures, or even a special night out. The Revival also specializes in home decor with a large selection and variety of items to choose from, including art from local Waupaca artists. The Revival, 111 West Fulton Street across from Farmer State Bank, downtown Waupaca. For more information, call 715-281-5100 or find them on Facebook. The Revival, home, art, and fashion.
We are here at the King, Wisconsin Veterans Home, and we are talking to Evelyn and Ray McSherry, and we're talking about Wreaths Across America, which is something that you guys helped get started. Am I right?
In this area, we started 4 years ago. Ray had an idea that he would like to see the wreaths placed at the Veteran Cemetery here at King. Wreaths Across America is the organization that works very hard every year to place wreaths at Arlington National Cemetery. And we do it the same day here at King that it's done at Arlington, which is always the second Saturday in December.
Which this year is December 12th.
Correct.
You told me what that calendar looked like just a couple of minutes ago. So it's December 12th, so you're going to be laying wreaths on all of the graves, right?
Well, at this point, we're not sure how many wreaths we're going to be laying because we are in the midst of our fundraising right now. Each wreath costs $15 from Wreaths Across America, and we're hoping to be able to top last year. We laid 3,800 wreaths last year, which was half of the cemetery. And we've been striving this year to cover the full cemetery, but we are a little bit behind at this point in our fundraising.
Fundraising is tough. One of the things that I do want to mention is that Wreaths Across America helps you because when you purchase 2 wreaths for $30, they give you the third one for free.
That is correct.
So how many years have you been doing this, Evelyn?
This is the 4th year that we'll be laying wreaths here at King.
That's kind of cool. So you lay all the wreaths, is that right, Ray?
No, we have volunteers that come and help lay the wreaths. We try to encourage school children to get them involved. But the families that buy the wreaths and that come and help lay the wreaths, and veterans groups. And
well, I think that's just cool that you get the whole community involved with coming out and laying wreaths on all of the graves, or as many as you can cover. I mean, that's a great way to create some awareness of what King is and how big the cemetery is, because I didn't know it was 7,600 graves.
That's correct. That is a large amount of graves to cover. And like I say, last year we did half of the cemeteries. It was quite an accomplishment.
So that's absolutely fabulous. So thank you two very much for being with us today. I do want to tell you that we happen to be in the museum at Martin Memorial Center. And if you get a chance, it's going to be renovated, but if you get a chance to come out and see it, it's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful area that honors the veterans. So thanks for your service again. I'm a huge, huge supporter of the veterans and of King, and I thank you again for being here.
Our pleasure. Thank you for having us.
We gather here today to place over 24,000 holiday wreaths to remember the fallen, honor those who served, and to teach our children the value of freedom.
As you place that wreath, take the time to look at that name. A lot of these stones don't have people anymore to come by and pay respect.
You'd be proud, just like we are. Thank you.
Yeah.
Michael Martino was a Marine Cobra pilot who died heroically while flying a combat mission in Iraq.
Even a year after it's happened, you know, every day is just so tough to get through. There's always constant memories, but then you come out here and see something like this that people are doing for your son and other soldiers that are other servicemen. It makes it easier.
It brings a tear to my eye to see people come together. We bury a lot of folks here. We did a funeral yesterday, and this is a good opportunity to do something other than bury our comrades, to pay honor and respect them, and so it's kind of a special moment today. I'm a Vietnam era draftee. When I came back to the United States, we didn't wear uniforms. We were instructed to take our uniforms off. Now, wherever I go, we get a lot of support. Everybody, I believe, understands that these men and women give everything for their country, and this is an opportunity, I think, just to give a little bit back.
I watched this mother and a little boy place a wreath on one of the stones, and I remember thinking, someday when the words in his name are all worn off, there still will be someone who will come by and pay their respects to my son's memory. And this is the impact and the reason why I continue to work with Wreaths Across America.
We've been laying wreaths here at Arlington since 1992. This is our 15th year. I'm from Harrington, Maine. Our business is making Christmas wreaths and other Christmas decorations. I wanted to give back, you know. And it's because of the freedom that we all have is why I can do what I do, and everybody else can do what they do. And but I just wanted to give back.
After 9/11, we all came together and remembered that we loved the country and we loved our freedom, and we understood that. And then, you know, then we got busy again and got complacent. We're a grateful nation. We just got to show.
I don't want to let my brother's name be forgotten, and nobody should let anybody that's killed over here their name forgotten or forgot what they did.
Ultimately, it's all about saying thank you to everyone in here.
In life, they honored their country. In death, their country honors them.
If you'd like to be a guest on What's Happening Waupaca, contact Josh at 715-258-4405 or email jwerner@cityofwaupaca.org. Full details at wintvwaupaca.com.
We are talking today with Justin Berrens, who is the City of Waupaca's new Public Works Director. That's kind of a handful for me to say. So welcome. It's nice to meet you today, Justin.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. So how long have you been in this position?
Since September 1st, so just about 2 months.
Yeah, so you're just getting your feet wet with this, right?
Oh yeah, my feet are definitely in it.
Now, did you born and raised in Waupaca?
Yes, yep. I was born here, I was raised, went to high school here. So yeah, I got a lot of family still in the area.
Oh, sure, sure. And you're very familiar then with the way the city works and what goes on around here?
Yes, I'm familiar with the area, and I know how the city worked from an outsider's perspective. And I've worked with the city, you know, in the past before, so I knew a little bit about the internal workings of City Hall. But now that I've been here for a couple months, now I'm knowing much more about it.
It's a whole different, looking from the outside in, we know exactly how that works. And then you get on the inside and you find out you really don't have a clue. You know what I mean? I think it's one of the misconceptions between the city and the people is how it works and what it does, but we're kind of working on that. But anyway, what kind of experience did you have before you became Public Works Director?
Well, just prior to, I guess, becoming the Public Works Director, I worked for an engineering firm for about 8 to 9 years. And I started with them doing environmental projects, environmental cleanups and assessments. And just being with the firm that did a lot of different things, I was exposed to a lot of different engineering practices within that, mainly being DOT roadways. So I spent a lot of time on the road, working on roads per se. So, and I picked up quite a bit working with, throughout the state with a number of different engineers, state representatives. So yeah, it was a good experience.
So coming from an engineering firm and working with the DOT, did that prepare you well for being the Director of Public Works? Do you find, or did you walk in there thinking that you were pretty well prepared and find out that there's a lot of different stuff?
Well, yeah, obviously I felt I was well prepared and I was a good match for the position.
Well, I mean,
but I know what you're asking.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, working with DOT personnel can be very political, let's say. I mean, it's a little bit different. I mean, they're state officials, so they definitely have a process that they work through, and they worked with other municipalities, and my work before was kind of the middleman of being in between municipalities and the state individuals.
So now that you're here working and you're the department head, what has been in the last couple of months, what has been the most surprising thing about your new position? Something that you walked into and thought, I never would have guessed.
Probably, that's a tough question. My biggest surprise, well, I would say I'm surprised at how much time I spend in meetings, but also a good surprise is just the support here. The people that I work with every day are very helpful, very knowledgeable. Everyone from the secretaries up to the supervisors that are in the public works have all been very helpful and very knowledgeable.
The city workers here are really, I mean, they're really good people. The ones I've met are good people, so I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. Well, Justin, thanks for coming on. Thanks for letting me rake you over the coals today and introduce you to the city. We all like to meet our department heads, and I'm sure we'll see you again from time to time.
Yeah, I might come back again now.
All right, sounds good, Justin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Waupaca Radio FM 96.3 is the City of Waupaca's community radio station. Waupaca Radio is here to connect you with the activities of your government and community and broadcast a variety of government meetings, community segments, and public safety information. To keep you entertained, Waupaca Radio features a variety of music, including the Morning Polka Show 7 days a week starting at 4 a.m., great oldies throughout the day, and smooth jazz several evenings throughout the week. Tune into Waupaca Radio for your forecast, community calendar, and information on an hourly basis. Learn more about Waupaca Radio by visiting the Waupaca Community Media website at waupaca.tv to learn when different programming is on or how to utilize and get involved with Waupaca Radio. Your radio station is Waupaca Radio, FM 96.3.
We are at the Senior Center today with Helen, who is going to demonstrate for us, and I don't know if she's going to teach us so we can go home with us, but we are going to super enjoy her showing us how to make lefse, correct?
That is correct. I'm going to give you a few hints on what I've learned for the past maybe 5 years I've been making lefse.
So what made you start to make lefse?
I married a Norwegian.
Yeah, that pretty much would do it. My dad was Norwegian, and so we would have Christmas Eve every year was lutefisk and lefse. We didn't like the lutefisk, loved the lefse. So what are we doing?
First of all, when I make the lefse, we have to have the right equipment, right? Rolling pin, grooved edges. You can buy these, Fleet Farm. Local hardware stores will have this type of equipment for you. You can also buy a nice mat, and it does say lefse on it. All right. The purpose of the cloth with the inches on it gives you an idea if you want to keep efficient and keep it all the same size. When I do it, I've learned to cook with it's close enough. And if you're good cooks, we all cook that way. You also need a paddle. You can make one of these, maybe a yardstick. So you can make your own. You don't have to buy one. You can buy a pretty one with a little design on it.
And it has a dual use, because then when the grandkids come over, you have a paddle, right?
Exactly. For the rolling pins, you can do it one of two ways. You can keep it like this. I did not prepare these, and I will show you how to do that in a minute. You can keep it like this, or you can buy a rolling pin cover. That is basically a sleeve. Comes in a neat package like this, so you know what you're looking for. And all you do is put it on. It saves a lot of cleanup time. These can be washed. Gives you little hints on it. You don't want to put it in a dryer with... Same with this pad. You don't want to put it in a dryer with dryer sheets, because if it absorbs the smell, you might get that into the lefse. So you're better off washing them hanging to dry. So this is how the sleeve just fits right on top of that. Now to prepare, I've done this on my set already. Lots of flour on the pastry board. Grab my flour and You know one thing about lefse, you need flour. Potatoes can be sticky. So to set it up, all I do is take a handful of flour, and you really need to rub it in. What you're going to do is fill the grooves that are inside there with flour. Now as I make my lefse today, I hope I have a few volunteers that would like to come up and try it. If you buy lefse at the store, you're going to find out that it's quite expensive. Potatoes are reasonable. All you're doing is flour, butter, salt. So their ingredients are reasonable, but it's very labor intensive. All right. You also have to fill this with flour and rub it in. Otherwise, your potatoes stick to your mat. So you just work it in, and as you make your lefse, you keep working in more flour because obviously you're going to have flour here that absorbs into your potatoes. I made the potatoes up already. Through the modern conveniences, I use a KitchenAid mixer to mash my potatoes. Recommended, and in the old days, okay, before my time, they use potato ricers. Potato ricers, you're going to get a better consistency. It's going to be fluffier. You aren't going to have your lumps. Now, occasionally, I do have lumps in there. Again, if you have a little tear, you can fix it. You can repair it, or you can let it go because who really cares that you had a tear? I don't. So you can use the KitchenAid. Basic ingredients, the way I make it, it's just butter, salt, potatoes. Mix that up, cool it, and I mean cool it. If you work with warm potatoes, it just, excuse me, does not roll out well. I usually boil them the day before, put them in the refrigerator, next day pull them out, put them back in the mixer, and that's when I add the flour. I go by texture, and I go by my KitchenAid mixer bowl. This many potatoes, this much flour. Okay, I can give you recipes, or if you buy a griddle, you actually get one, or you can just go online. Some people add sweet cream, some people just add cream, so there's different versions of lefse. So you can do what you want. I'm going to read a recipe for you. This was given to me by my Norwegian brother-in-law, who thought I needed to make lefse as well. Lefse recipe. You take, yes, 10 big potatoes, then you boil them till they're done. You add to this some sweet cream, and by the cups it measures, and you just steal 3 ounces of butter. And yep, 2 fingers, pinch some salt. You beat this very lightly. If it ain't good, it's your own fault. Then you roll this tin with flour and light brown on stone. You bake. Now call in all Scandinavians. Then you try the fine lefse you make. Now you have the official recipe. All right, I preheated the grill, and we are ready to start. Some people I've seen make lefse with a little scoop. They put a ball in their hand, and they make a nice little ball, and they put it on, they roll it out. I love ice cream scoops. Consistency, straight all the time. Scoop of potatoes, scoop it on there. Those have been refrigerated. I've added the flour. Put it on the pan or the tray, and you roll it out.
It didn't look like one ice cream scoop of potatoes was going to make a huge piece of lefse, did it?
It does not, and again, lefse is very thin. 2 purposes of the lines on the board. As you roll, you can start to sometimes see some lines underneath there, then you probably are pretty thin. One of the things I've learned about lefse, quite often the outsides get to be a little bit crispy. What I've found in online research is wonderful, by the way. What you do is you just put a towel down, and when you take your lefse off, you put it on a towel, and you just keep flipping it over onto the next layer. That'll keep the moisture in there, and it will, if you have crispy edges, That'll take care of that problem. All the moisture will be absorbed in there. Little handy trick. Excuse my reach. This is mine. And now we have
Wow, perfect.
And then you unroll it, and just like that. Okay, now you can see the difference, and so you can see what happens into different potatoes if they don't have enough flour. And again, you need to always remember to do this.
Between every piece?
Yes, almost every one. This not as often. I do this maybe every other one. But this, you have to watch the board, otherwise it sticks to the board.
So we were watching this. It was bubbling just a little bit, and it's barely brown.
When I flipped it over, what you can do if you're not sure, especially when you're starting out, all you have to do is check it, and you look on the bottom, and yes, it is getting brown. So you can just flip it over, and there you have your lefse.
cityofwaupaca.org is the official website of the City of Waupaca government and departments. Cityofwaupaca.org features all the government information you need to know, including meeting information, elections and voting, a staff contact directory, important city alerts, pay your utility bills online, find out about parks and recreation programs, public works services, know what you need to do if you plan to remodel your home. That and more available at cityofwaupaca.org, your City of Waupaca government available on your computer, tablet, or smartphone.
We decided to come back to the Humane Society because we just love being here with all of the animals. We're actually in the training room where we've got a bunch of kittens running around. I know you've seen some footage of all of them just kind of running around and having some fun and being socialized. And I have Monica here, who is Monica Gardner's daughter, because Monica has no voice. So thanks, Monica, for being with us today.
You're welcome.
We appreciate meeting you and seeing you. And she has a little dog, too, in her arms that we'll introduce you to in a little bit. So about how many kittens do you have here?
Way too many. How many do we have?
You have
5 kittens.
You have about 25. There's a lot of them to be adopted. And we see we've got all different colors and styles here. Which is, kittens are so much fun because they really enjoy playing. So do you like to get down on the floor and play with them too?
I do when I have time, but I don't normally have a lot of time.
Well, you're busy taking care of the animals.
Yeah.
So what's your position here?
I work mainly in the kennels, and I'm here mostly at night. So if I have time to spend with the cats, I do. Otherwise, I'm mostly with the dogs.
Katie, are you going to talk to the camera?
No.
Yeah, probably not. So what we're going to do, we brought Katie in because the Humane Society does have a lot of dogs and cats that get along very well because a lot of us have both in the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to stay tuned because on the next show we are going to be talking about Katie and having her in your home with cats.